As I was coming into work today, I was listening to a podcast, Art Ed Radio by the Art of Education. It's hosted by Tim Bogatz and Andrew McCormick. And most of the time when I listen to these guys, I'm going, yes, say it again, because I love what they have to say. But today I found myself on episode 66, shocked. Like, absolutely shocked. I was like, what did they just say? Oh my goodness. So I am here today to just kind of give my opinion on what they had to say. They listed 7 different art projects that we can just let go as art teachers. Okay, some of them I kind of see their point or I agree with, but I have one very strong opinion on something they had a very strong opinion on as well. So the first ones that they talked about creating works that replicate masters. I agree with their points. I don't think we have to make replications of master works, but that's just me. I don't hate that other people do. I think we have a lot to learn from our masters, right? That's part of art education as far as I'm concerned. They also talked about getting rid of still lifes. I agree to a certain extent. I don't mind having objects that are meaningful to the students be the object that they choose for observation. So using their school backpack or having them bring in, oh, heaven forbid, a fidget or something that they care about. Now that's an okay thing to do observational drawing for, right? In my opinion, I don't know if we need to get rid of it, and I don't think that was their full intent. It was kind of like putting those bones out and spending weeks on drawing that. But sometimes observational drawing, well, I feel, is extremely important. The elements, having a whole entire project based around an element, that is what our old standards led us towards. So I didn't see a problem with it before. Our new standards that came out in 2014 are way different, and we have to rethink how we teach because it really doesn't say much about the art elements. It's more about creativity, responding, and presenting. The color wheel project, that kind of fits into the whole elements thing. I agree. Color wheel can be covered in instruction or discovery. I don't think there has to be a whole project where we have all the colors in the right places, we know their names properly. But I do agree that or I do feel that we need to have some kind of color theory taught at the different scaffolding levels. So making sure that our kids know what primary colors are and that they make secondary colors and so on. They mentioned 2 projects in clay, pinch pot and coil. I think they were talking about high school because there is no way that you can teach clay to kindergarten, first grade, second grade. Our littles need to learn pinch pots. And a coil in 5th grade actually is quite challenging. So I think those are appropriate at the right level, and then a quick review at the upper levels might be most appropriate. The big one that I want to discuss this morning is 1-point perspective. They said that art teachers don't like teaching 1-point perspective. Guys, I must be the odd duck because I absolutely love talking about 1-point perspective, and the way that I teach it, I think my students do too. So the question was, why are you teaching these projects? For me, 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, especially 1-point perspective to like 4th or 5th grade is teaching your students magic. You can show them how to make something look 3-dimensional with that lesson. Now, how you teach it can be a million different ways. And so, because I have such a passion for it, I've created something for Teachers Pay Teachers that is about 1-point perspective. It's self-guided. They learn it little by little. They come up with the skill of 1-point perspective, and then I created choice for them at the end of the project where they get to choose how they create their project in 1-point perspective. So there was self-guided learning and choice in 1-point perspective. I think it's darn good. So because I'm so passionate and I enjoy 1-point perspective, I think it should stay in the art room. And here's the deal, that both Andrew and Tim said, and Ian Sands, they mentioned, said that they have never used 1-point perspective or 2-point perspective in their drawing. I do quite often. So maybe that's where my passion lies, is because I like having those vanishing points and creating a very realistic or structure, mostly for my structures, for houses and my personal work. So guys, okay with some things, but I'm going to challenge you with that 1 point perspective. I think it's okay to keep in the classroom. Hey, thanks for the thought-provoking talk this morning, and for giving my brain something to defend, because I think that's a lot of what your podcast does. I think it allows you to rant. Andrew, I'm talking to you. And it allows us to think and question ourselves and make us better teachers because of it. So thanks.